Bitwise just put out a banger of a report titled The Investment Case for XRP. You have to remember who they're gearing this report towards. This is for the hedge fund, the institutional investor, the pension fund, the large retail investor, traditional investor. They have to be careful what they say here. They don't want to get linked to it, of course. They have to be measured in their approach, the forecast they make. And it's not so much the price prediction. If you're here for that, I'll give it to you right now. You can click off. It's $29 by 2030. Look, XRP could hit $29 this year. This is a tough market to forecast with any sort of accuracy. But it's not about that. That doesn't matter. It's the fact that they really make a great case for XRP's future value in the crypto asset space. It's easy to understand for all investors out there. Anyone can read this report and go, you know what, that makes sense. XRP's use case, its value makes sense. And I think it's going to drive a lot of investors to include XRP in their investment portfolio as they get exposure to this entire space. Let's take a look at this. It's called the Investment Case for XRP. In small letters down here, it says this document is intended for professional investors. Don't tell anyone. I got my hands on this thing. All right. It was put together by Matt Hogan, Chief Investment Officer, also one of their research analysts over there at Bitwise. We see XRP is one of the oldest and largest crypto assets. That's important to understand. You can't get that in a day, a month, even a year. Like, this is a crypto asset that's been around for a long time, that has shown resiliency, that has value, that has security. That means something. That's a big deal here. It says, despite its longevity, however, it remains one of the most divisive assets in the crypto universe with passionate advocates. There's no one else as hardcore as the XRP army. That's 100% for sure. I mean, the US government essentially came after us and couldn't stop us. They slowed us down a bit. They were like a little road bump, but not much. But we also have equally passionate detractors. This is people that make a living off of just hating on XRP. It's kind of wild, but it's true. Advocates note XRP's 12-year track record, sustained relevance, ability to serve an underlying blockchain that provides low-cost, scalable transactions since its inception. Absolutely true. Just billions of transactions, no problems. Notably, the XRP ledger is also built for flexibility to accommodate regulatory demands, positioning it well for crypto's mainstream era. So we're moving out of this wild, wild west where people just do whatever they want into an era where real businesses are going to leverage this technology for real customers, and that's going to change everything. The things you wanted from an era past are going to be completely different than what we see just right around the corner with a fully regulated market. Regulations passing this year, an SEC you can work with, a crypto-friendly government that wants to incentivize building. This is a new era. XRP is positioned perfectly for it. Now, they go on to say, this is a balanced report. Detractors note that you've had a decade. You've had a ton of funding. A multi-billion-dollar company just investing in infrastructure, signing partnerships, and yeah, they've had multiple like one-off major deals with big-time financial institutions, but none of them have yet to achieve breakaway scale. So you don't have SBI just running their whole infrastructure off of the XRP ledger, or Bank of America, or any of this kind of stuff. And so detractors bring up that note. You haven't done it yet. Are you going to be able to do so in the future? And what's going to change? They go on to say that the timing of this report is advantageous. We're entering a new era. One of the biggest problems with XRP is that regulatory overhang just weighing us down, and that's gone away. That invisible hand that was holding us underwater, drowning us, is gone. And like Brad says, boom, we popped up. And this new era of, crypto-friendly government, crypto-friendly SEC, and just a thoughtful approach that wants to incentivize real building, it's helping. We've already seen it. XRP went from 50 cents to over $2, and it's hung there for a reason. And we should expect more of this. And this is the key point here. It says, in other words, we now get to see what XRP can really do. This report aims to handicap its potential for success. We don't have that, drag on us any longer. Now it's time to, put up or shut up. We got the tech, we got the builders. Now let's see how this, plays out as we go forward. I like this this slide here because what they're showing is XRP Ledger has a different design and a novel approach. And that's important because if you roll out the next Ethereum and you're just a little bit faster, a little bit cheaper, They can copy you. I mean, it's all open source. They can take your technology. It's not a problem. They already have the scale. They got the value. But when you are fundamentally different from the ground up, that's something that's not easy to copy. That takes time because you have a totally different approach. And one of the key features for the XRP ledger that gives it novel advantages is its native functionality. Again, every other blockchain stacks things on top of smart contracts, and that has its advantages and disadvantages. But this novel approach can help us be faster, cheaper, and scale more efficiently. Things like decentralized exchanges and central limit order books built into the protocol directly. This is an important one, built-in compliance. The XRP ledger has multiple built-in compliance features that orient it towards regulated activity, which is what the future is going to be all about, giving actual financial services to real customers. This is a blockchain built for exactly that. It's secure, it's proven, it's battle-tested. That's a big difference. Public discussion on real-world use of XRP can be frustrating. Supporters claim, hey, network already has widely adopted use cases. Right now, people are already using XRP. Skeptics respond with claims that most of the XRP transactions are kind of nonsense. What this report says is the reality is both are kind of correct. That all crypto blockchains have a significant amount of speculation. It's not all, fundamentally real transactions. But that doesn't matter. Trying to sift through all of this and figure out, all right, how much of this is real payments by Ripple? How much of it is kind of nonsense going on? It doesn't matter. It comes down to its capability. Can this blockchain, can it meet the future needs of institutions, of big tech firms? When people want to do something, can XRP help accomplish that? That's really all that matters, nothing else. That's the deal. Investing is a speculative endeavor here. We're using our imagination. We're looking into the future. You're not buying an XRP or an Ethereum token because of what's happening today. It's what you think it's capable of doing tomorrow. That's what we're doing with all of our crypto investing. So vexing over these issues is not important. It's, can this meet the demands of tomorrow? And if it can, people are going to use it. The most important question is, can the network scale? And it goes on to say the bull case here is easy to see. It's got the track record. It's got the strong community that even under hostile attacks from the US government has stayed strong, has been a top crypto asset, has had some of the best liquidity, the most use, fast scalable transactions. I know there's detractors that are already typing down that, the XRP doesn't have enough throughput, that the ledger can't meet scale. Look, that costs money, and it meets the needs and demands of today. And it would just be vanity to try to spend money so we could do 1,500 transactions per second if we don't need it. That would just hurt decentralization. There's no economic reality to that need. But you can't tell me that if you have JP Morgan or Bank of America, routing a bunch of their payments over this network, that they're not going to upgrade things, that they're not going to spend more money on computer hardware. If BlackRock wants to launch a tokenized exchange on top of the XRP ledger, that they won't upgrade the freaking hardware. They will if there's a real economic need there. It'll happen so quick, it's not funny. The base architecture can go much higher, much faster, way more throughput, and we will do it when you need it. This is regulation ready. It's built for the future for a real purpose. AML, KYC, all of that. And it's going to be attractive to institutional users. It's got the tokenized capabilities. That's what I've been saying. That's going to be where really your institutions want to go, even more so than payments. They want to be able to tokenize assets. BlackRock wants to tokenize the whole world, from your house to your pension funds to everything. They want to have it all in their funds, and they probably will. I'm not saying that's a good future, but it's the most likely future. And it does have strong ecosystem support. No matter what's been thrown at this asset, it just keeps chugging along. High liquidity, high use. This is a proven asset. Ripple claims to have over 100 financial institutions. Their survey, when compiling this report, suggests that the typical XRP ledger user appears to be a small to mid-sized financial institution. They go on to say, this makes sense. Small, medium-sized businesses don't have access to the same financial tools as the large financial giants. This was always where this was going to start. This was always going to be about emerging markets, smaller institutions that need this technology to compete. And once it hits scale, your massive financial giants, they have no choice. They're going to have to adopt. And once this is legal, I'm telling you what's going to happen. It's not going to be about the little institution that is now all of a sudden more efficient. It's going to be big tech. Big tech is going to jump in here. They're going to cut those fees. They don't care about the cash flows today. They want to capture the market for tomorrow. And big tech has been circling banking forever. Everyone from Apple to Google, you name it. Really, tech is really about moving money around. That's all they do, slosh money around. And if they can bring that cost down, they're going to gobble up this market. And so if you're an institution, you're going to have to fight them off. You're going to have to try to compete. It's just not going to be possible if you don't adopt this technology. And this is a big deal here. XRP stands out as a versatile crypto asset with a decade-long track record of innovation and resilience. As institutional adoption accelerates, which we expect that it will, support by regulatory clarity and strategic partnerships, XRP is well positioned to capture a significant opportunity in payments and tokenization in the near term, and in addition, markets like stablecoins and custody over the long term. With growing use cases and fundamentals, XRP remains a compelling asset for those seeking exposure to the evolving digital asset economy. We believe there is a significant upside in XRP if it becomes a leading player in tokenization and institutional finance. So we're going to have to see what those DeFi offerings are going to have. And again, it's a novel approach. I like it. It's something different than what you see on Ethereum, but something geared towards institutions. Can they start getting a lot of traction and use case there? And I think this is the premier blockchain for tokenization. That's what they're saying here. If we can capture that, the upside is unlimited. XRP from day one was built for that exact purpose, to tokenize gold, dollars, stocks, airline miles, tokenize everything and be able to trade it, be able to send it as a payment in real time at low cost to flow the same as information does. That was the vision from the very beginning, and that is what is the rage right now. And you can expect XRP to be competitive there. Again, this is geared towards the big time investor. And to you and me, maybe 10x from now to 2030, that may not sound that interesting, but to a pension fund that needs more growth, that is like a game changer. And they're not going to allocate, of course, all of their portfolio to this, but it's going to capture a good chunk of it. And they're doing big dollars here. And so are they going to get some Bitcoin? You betcha they are. Are they going to have Ethereum in those things? Yep. But XRP, I think, will make its way into a lot of these major investment portfolios for their digital asset allocation because it has a lot of upside, it has a novel approach, and it's easy to understand its value. That's why I've been making videos all of these years. That's why you've been watching them, because you understand XRP's potential. I like this report. It shows the potential. It doesn't claim that the deals are already in place, that they have secret agreements. It just says XRP Ledger is purpose-built for the future, and we very well may capture a big chunk of that activity. And I think that's the way we have to look at this. This is why I'm putting a good chunk of my XRP to the side for long-term investment, because if we start hitting on this stuff, the future's uncertain. Don't think it's a guarantee, but if we do, and we got a good shot of doing so, you're going to be happy that you have some long-term investment in XRP. We'll see it play out. I think this bull run is going to be explosive. We're going to have the chance to pull some money off the table. I'm sure waiting for that day, and I think it's going to come sooner than later. But I'm not going to throw it all away because, again, we have a real shot here, and XRP is a big-time player. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.